They're up and pacing. Jump for Joy. Bobby Love and C.B. Perry drive out for the lead. Tabulation came away well on the rail. Dropping in fifth is Hard Rock Prater. In sixth position, Johnny's Dream. Racing in seventh, Dale's Budget. Go Happy Go, and Rory Wan is the trailer as they enter the stretch for the first time. C.B. Perry leads a length. Racing in second position, Bobby Love. Jump for Joy is out of third. Racing in fourth is Tabulation, the quarter not posted. Here comes Jump for Joy on the outside. It's Jump for Joy to take the lead. C.B. Perry yields in second. Racing in third, Bobby Love. It's a two-length gap. Tabulation fourth. On the outside, Dale's Budget moves up fifth. Hard Rock Prater having a hard time keeping up in sixth. Johnny's Dream to the outside seventh. Go Happy Go is eighth, and Rory Wan is far back. Over to the half-mile pole they race. Jump for Joy takes this field to the half-mile. Not posted midway on the back stretch. Jump for Joy a length. C.B. Perry racing second. Bobby Love right there third. Tabulation is out of fourth. Dale's Budget on the outside fifth. Go Happy Go comes on sixth. Johnny's Dream seventh. Hard Rock Prater is eighth, and Rory Wan is still far back. And there goes Tabulation moving fast. Off stride on the turn was Dale's Budget. Dale's Budget's off stride. They passed the three-quarters with Tabulation moving up on the outside to take the lead. Jump for Joy still there second. C.B. Perry third. Bobby Love fourth. Around the turn they're in the stretch on the outside. Tabulation has the lead. Racing in second. Jump for Joy. C.B. Perry is third. In fourth position, that's Go Happy Go, and Tabulation is drawing away and will win as much the best tonight. It's going to be Tabulation by 2.5. Jump for Joy will hold on to second, and it will be C.B. Perry third. They're up and pacing with Muncie Baron and Just Mark's Dream driving out for the lead. On the inside, You Ain't Seen Nothing closes the gap third. On the outside, hung fourth is Red Wolfman. He now moves up third. You Ain't Seen Nothing back to fourth. D.I. Gucci drops in fifth. Golden Dart is sixth, and seventh position affirmed. Smoke Commander is eighth. Pretender and Smell of Success make up the field of 10 as they enter the stretch for the first time. They're in line as they move by the quarter. 29-1 for the quarter. Muncie Baron now takes out of the pocket. Muncie Baron moves up to take the lead. They pace 3/8 of a mile. Muncie Baron a length. Just Mark's Dream racing second. You Ain't Seen Nothing Yet comes on third. Red Wolfman saves ground in fourth. D.I. Gucci on the outside with cover fifth. Affirmed along the inside sixth. Golden Dart out there seventh. Smoke Commander on the rail eighth. Racing in ninth. Pretender and Smell of Success still trails the field. They went by the half in 59-3. Muncie Baron a length on the inside in second. Just Mark's Dream ahead. You Ain't Seen Nothing first over on the outside in third. Along the inside, Red Wolfman is fourth. D.I. Gucci about to go three wide fifth. Golden Dart is third over on the outside sixth. Affirmed along the inside now sixth. Golden Dart out there seventh. Smoke Commander eighth. Pretender ninth, and Smell of Success three-quarters 1:29-1. They turn for home. It's Muncie Baron with the lead. Just Mark's Dream. Red Wolfman now comes out, and they're in the stretch. Your leader, Muncie Baron, a length. Just Mark's Dream in between horses. Here comes Red Wolfman closing on the center of the track. It's Muncie Baron with the lead. Just Mark's Dream. Red Wolfman closing on the outside. Muncie Baron still has the lead. The fight will be for second. It's Muncie Baron in front. Close for second. Red Wolfman maybe over Just Mark's Dream. They're up and pacing. Happy Cruise out for the lead. Along the inside, 8 by 10 moves up. From the outside, Saros Hanover. Still further out, Young Bro Special as they battle for early position. Young Bro Special moves up on the outside, holding the inside. Saros Hanover, these two vie for the lead. 8 by 10 racing in third and fourth position into the stretch the first time is Ronnie Almahurst. Racing in fifth is Happy Cruise. Victory Brannigan got away 7. Super Mario 8. Call Me Sailor. And as they race by the opening quarter in 28 and 2. They've paced 3/8 of a mile. Young Bro Special has the lead by 2. Saros Hanover racing second on the outside. Happy Cruise is third. 8 by 10 along the inside. Fourth. Super Mario on the outside would cover fifth. Ronnie Almahurst on the rail, 6th. Victory Brannigan, 7th. Call Me Sailor on the outside in 8th. Racing in 9th, Electric Eagle, followed by Gold Fella. Half timed in 1 minute and 1/5. Midway on the back stretch, it's Young Bro Special with the lead. Happy Cruise on the outside, hanging second. Saros Hanover right there, third. Super Mario about to go 3 wide, fourth. Along the inside, 8 by 10 is fifth. In 6th position along the inside, Ronnie Almahurst. On the outside, 7th is Call Me Sailor. Into the upper turn they race. Young Bro Special still keeps the lead. Saros Hanover wants racing room second. On the outside, Happy Cruise another move in third. To the far outside, Super Mario and Call Me Sailor are wide for the drive. They're in the stretch. Your leader, Young Bro Special, a length. Saros Hanover now is out of the pocket second. Closing ground on the far outside. Here comes Call Me Sailor. Your leader is Young Bro Special with Call Me Sailor along the inside. Saros Hanover. Your leader is Young Bro Special. Saros Hanover holds on to second. 8 by 10 is third. They're up and trotting from the outside. Lose Priority in 3:57 drive out for the lead. On the inside, Fantaction is there. In between horses goes Broomstraw as they battle for early position. Lose Priority in between horses now takes the lead. 3:57's 3 wide second. Moving up third is Broomstraw. Fantaction holds the rail fourth. Jay Hustle trotting in fifth as they enter the stretch for the first time. Off stride in the back of the pack was Foxy Woman. 28 and 3 for the opening quarter. 3:57 goes to the lead. Broomstraw's now left on the outside in second and third position. Lose Priority trotting in fourth is Fantaction. Jay Hustle with the leaders fifth. Prairie Wind is sixth. Eastridge Star seventh. We'll go 8 lengths back to find Heather McLennan. Trailing the field far back is the Foxy Woman. 3:57 leads Broomstraw on the outside, trotting second off a half mile, timed in 58 and 4. 3:57 leads, but Broomstraw's moving up, and it's Broomstraw moving fast now to take the lead. 3:57 back to second on the outside. Lose Priority comes on third. Fantaction on the outside moves up with cover fourth. Eastridge Star saving ground and is gaining ground on the rail fifth. Jay Hustle out there sixth. Prairie Wind a strong seventh. Heather McLennan moves a closer eighth, and the Foxy Woman's pulled up. They move to the 3/4 in 1:29 flat. They turn for home. Off stride on the turn was Lose Priority. Your leader is Broomstraw by 4. They're in the stretch, and it's Broomstraw by 4. 3:57 trying to come on second. Closing ground third is Eastridge Star. Heather McLennan's moving in between horses. Your leader is Broomstraw. The battle will be for second with Heather McLennan now coming through. It's Broomstraw. Heather McLennan coming to him. I don't think there's enough room for him to catch him, and Broomstraw will win it. Heather McLennan second. Eastridge Star will be third. They're often pacing between horses. Come On Jordan out for the lead on the outside. Jeremo Jack along the inside. Rambling Tup driving up from the outside goes Shimano. As they bank around the far turn for the first time, Jeremo Jack leads. Shimano showing early speed while racing a bit wide. Rambling Tup holds the rail third. Come On Jordan fourth. Racing in fifth is Brian Scott. Jacoby Doc Elby is sixth, racing in seventh. Brooklyn's Honor on the outside. Dancer Dior moves up eighth. Travelon came away ninth. Didn't He Ramble is the trailer. Off a quarter in 28 and 2. Up on the outside, Jeremo Jack to reclaim the lead. They've paced 3/8 of a mile. Jeremo Jack a length. Shimano racing second. Rambling Tup is third. On the outside, Brian Scott first over in fourth. Dancer Dior comes on with cover fifth. Come On Jordan shuffled the sixth. Travel On to the outside seventh. Jacoby Doc Elby is eighth. Didn't He Ramble ninth, trailing the field. Brooklyn's Honor 9 lanes separate the first from the last. 59 and 3, and they're halfway home. Jeremo Jack's going for 6 in a row. He leads a length. On the inside, Shimano second ahead. Brian Scott now moves up on the outside second. Shimano back to third. Dancer Dior on the outside fourth. Rambling Tup, no place to go, fifth. Travel On gains ground sixth. Along the inside, Come On Jordan seventh. Didn't He Ramble is eighth. They passed the three-quarters, 129 and 2. They turn for home on the outside. Brian Scott up to challenge Jeremo Jack. They're in the stretch, and Brian Scott takes the lead. Jeremo Jack back to second. Dancer Dior closing ground with Travel On out in the center of the track. Jeremo Jack fighting to come back. On the outside, Brian Scott hanging second. Closing ground, Dancer Dior. Far outside, Travel On. Jeremo Jack still has the lead. Jeremo Jack, maybe Jeremo Jack 6 in a row. They're often pacing. Annie Crombie out for the lead from the outside. Dumpling Almahurst moves up. Rompin' Dolly came away third. Midnight Toes drops in fourth. Ashlyn Hanover fifth. Sand the Floor is the early trailer. They race into the stretch for the first time. Annie Crombie with the lead. Dumpling Almahurst hung on the outside second. She'll now come on to the lead. Racing in third along the inside, Rompin' Dolly. They went by the opening quarter in 28 and 1. Dumpling Almahurst from the outside now gets the lead as they race under the finish wire the first time. Dumpling Almahurst a length. Annie Crombie racing second. Rompin' Dolly is third. Midnight Tolls fourth. Racing in fifth, Ashlyn Hanover. Sand the Floor is the trailer. Over to the half-mile pole they race. Dumpling Almahurst and Dan Shetler in control of length. Then we see Annie Crombie with Tom Simmons in the bike second. Rompin' Dolly tucked in third. Midnight Tolls is out of fourth. Ashlyn Hanover is behind her in fifth. Sand the Floor trailed, but she's just 5 lengths off the lead. 58 and 2, and they're halfway home at 30 and 1 second quarter. Dumpling Almahurst comfortably on top of length. Annie Crombie elects to save ground in second. Midnight Tolls now covers her up in third. Rompin' Dolly on the inside fourth. Ashlyn Hanover on the outside fifth. Sand the Floor still about 5 lengths off the lead. Sixth, three quarters in 1:27 and 1, 28 and 4, third quarter. Dumpling Almahurst brings it home a length on top. They're in the stretch. Dumpling Almahurst leads. Annie Crombie wants out of the pocket second. Midnight Tolls third. Ashlyn Hanover closing ground. Sand the Floor's on the far outside, and she's flying on the outside. Here comes Sand the Floor out in the center of the track, and Sand the Floor is moving fastest of them all. Sand the Floor getting up. Ashlyn Hanover up for second. Midnight Tolls is third. Fields on the clubhouse turn. They're often pacing with Skipper Z leaving well for the lead, and between horses, Dr. William is there. Little Strikes, and from the outside, Wolf of Wall Street showing speed tonight. Little Strikes to the lead. Wolf of Wall Street neatly ducks in second. Racing in third, Dr. William. Skipper Z is fourth. On the outside, moving up fifth, Strike Me Rich, Flexible is sixth. He's a Lobel seventh, Keek up eighth, and Head Knocker Ron is the trailer. They went by the opening quarter in 28-2. Your leader is Little Strikes a length. Wolf of Wall Street racing second. Dr. William is third. On the outside here, Strike Me Rich moving up fourth. Behind him, He's a Lobel fifth. Racing up sixth is Flexible. On the inside, Skipper Z shuffled to seventh. In eighth position, Head Knocker Ron, and now trailing the field, Keek up. Over to the half-mile pole, Little Strikes a length. On the outside, the challenger, Strike Me Rich second. Wolf of Wall Street tucked in third. He's a Lobel on the outside with cover fourth. Halfway home in a minute and 3/5. Midway on the backstretch, Little Strikes on the inside. Strike Me Rich on the outside. Heads apart. Little Strikes now goes on and takes the lead. Make that Strike Me Rich now on the outside with the lead. Little Strikes is second. He's a Lobel on the outside, hanging third, racing in fourth. Wolf of Wall Street, Flexible out there fifth. Dr. William is sixth. On the outside, Head Knocker Ron seventh. Skipper Z and Keek up. They went to the three quarters in 1:29-1. They turned for home, and Strike Me Rich leads by 4 lengths. Around the turn, they're in the stretch, and Strike Me Rich has the lead by 5. He's a Lobel on the outside second. Dropping back third, Little Strikes on the outside. Closing ground fourth comes Flexible. Your leader is Strike Me Rich with He's a Lobel racing second. Flexible is third. It's Strike Me Rich with the lead. It'll be close for second. We're between Dr. William and He's a Lobel. Very close. They're often pacing on the outside. Wave Damage out fast for the lead. From the far outside, Sean D.W. moves up, still further out. Dancing Over and along the inside, Streaking Billy now third. Dancing Over looks to drop in fourth. Tatanga came away in fifth. Everglade Nero sixth. Wands Magic seventh. Storm Key came away eighth, and trailing the field is Fluid Move. They're into the stretch and move by the opening quarter. Wave Damage takes them there, 28 seconds flat. Wave Damage a lane. Sean D.W. hung on the outside second. Racing in third, Streaking Billy in fourth position. Dancing Over on the outside. Everglade Nero moves up fifth. Tatanga Lex to stay inside sixth. Storm Key on the outside seventh. Wands Magic eighth, and Fluid Move is having a most difficult time keeping up with the field. Over to the half-mile pole, your leader, Wave Damage a length as they move by the half-mile, 58-1. Wave Damage a length, and there goes Everglade Nero, 3 wide, and right behind him, Storm Key moving 3 wide into third. Coming off the rail now fourth is Streaking Billy. Along the inside in fifth is Dancing Over. Tatanga drives between horses sixth. Racing in seventh, Wands Magic. In eighth position, Sean D.W. trailing Fluid Move. They race to the three quarters. Your new leader now is Everglade Nero. They pass the three quarters. 1:27-2, 29-1. Third quarter, Everglade Nero by 2 lengths. Racing in second is Wave Damage. Around the turn, they're in the stretch. Everglade Nero by 3. Wave Damage trying to come on against second on the outside. Closing ground, Dancing Over along the inside. Tatanga. Everglade Nero leads, Dancing Over closing on the outside with Tatanga on the inside. It's Everglade Nero, Dancing Over in Tatanga. Everglade Nero, Dancing Over on the outside. Everglade Nero holds on. Dancing Over second, Tatanga third. Reminder, ladies and gentlemen, that programs remain on sale for tomorrow night's They're often pacing on the inside dusty pockets. Sammy George and Colt number 6 drive out to the lead from the center of the track. Caught Looking's now caught 4 wide. Moving up on the outside, looking for a spot, Trenton's Bequest in the 5th. Along the inside, closing the gap 6 to Stockton, Hanover, Jet Air drops in 7, Dom's Dream 8, Audubon Mohawk 9th. Tonight's the night is the trailer. They're battling for the lead still as they move by the opening quarter. Sammy George takes them there in 28-3. Sammy George leads, Caught Looking on the outside, racing second. Caught Looking now takes the lead. They've paced 3/8 of a mile, Caught Looking a length. Sammy George second on the outside. Colt number 6 is out of third. Along the inside, Dusty Pockets now fourth. The inside, Trenton's Bequest 5th. And the outside, Stockton Hanover moves up 6, Jet Air 7th. In 8th position, Dom's Dream. Audubon Mohawk and Tonight's the Night make up the field, still trailing 58-1 for the half. Caught Looking's feeling a heavy Mark Aubin whip midway on the backstretch. He leads a length. On the outside, Colt number 6, he's also under a heavy whip. These two now battle each other for the lead. In Colt number 6, under a heavy whip, takes the lead. The outside, Stockton Hanover now hanging second. Along the inside, Caught Looking third. Sammy George drops back 4th. Jet Air comes on 5th. Dom's Dream in 6th. Dusty Pockets 7th. 3/4, 1:27-4. They turn for home. Your leader is Colt number 6. Stockton Hanover on the outside. They're in the stretch. Colt number 6 leads. Stockton Hanover on the outside. Second, Jet Air's closing ground. And here comes Dom's Dream fast on the outside. That's Dom's Dream taking the lead. On the inside, Stockton Hanover between horses. Jet Air heads apart at the wire. That's Jet Air in between horses now taking the lead. Jet Air. They're often pacing. JB's Jason out for the lead. Britsboro in between horses there. Tolstoy came away, and on the outside, Best Behavior moves up as they battle for early position. JB's Jason benefits from the rail. Britsboro looks to drop in second. Holding the inside now in third is Call Me Tex. Best Behavior's on the outside now moving up in 4th. Racing in 5th is Tolstoy. Satanic Boom ducks in 6th in front of Speedy Conquest 7th. On the outside in 8th position comes Red Dog. In 9th position, Steady Sarnell, and Mr. Chi-Town is the trailer. 29-1 for the opening quarter under the finish wire the first time. Best Behavior has the lead. JB's Jason second. Here comes Call Me Tex now driving up on the outside third. Britsboro along the rail fourth. Satanic Boom comes on with cover 5th. Tolstoy on the inside 6th as they move around the club, turning over to the half-mile pole. Best Behavior has the lead. JB's Jason elects to stay on the rail. He's now covered up and shuffled back. Half was in 101 flat. They pick up the pace, and there goes Call Me Tex now taking the lead. Racing in second is Best Behavior on the outside. Satanic Boom third. JB's Jason along the inside now third. Satanic Boom hanging out there fourth. Speedy Conquest comes on 5th. Britsboro 6th. Racing in 7th. Tolstoy. Steady Sarnell is 8th. Mr. Chi-Town is 9th, and trailing is Red Dog, 129-3, 28-3, 3rd quarter. And off stride on the turn was Call Me Tex, also off stride Satanic Boom. They're in the stretch, and Best Behavior has the lead. JB's Jason now drives from second. Racing in third. On the outside comes Mr. Chi-Town. Best Behavior leads. Racing in second is JB's Jason. Best Behavior leads. JB's Jason second. Mr. Chi-Town is third. They're often pacing on the inside. Fire Up and Lieutenant Monterey drive out for the lead. Parker Rivenoak closes the gap along the rail, coming away third. Dropping in fourth is Jeff's Image. On the inside, Massa fifth. On the outside, Glug looking for a spot sixth. Skipper Magoo in seventh. Cardamom Daniel is eighth, and ninth is Brian's Breeze Ardmore Bay, the trailer. They're into the stretch for the first time and move by the opening quarter with Fire Up taking the field by the quarter in 28-1. Fire Up a length, racing in second, Lieutenant Monterey. On the outside, moving up is Massa, holding the inside third, Parker Rivenoak. Massa now comes on fourth. Racing in fifth is Jeff's Image. Glug with cover on the outside is sixth. Brian's Breeze third over seventh. Skipper Magoo along the rail eighth. Ardmore Bay ninth. Cardamom Daniel trails the field. They move around the club, turning over to the half-mile pole. It's Fire Up in control of length, and they move by the half-mile, 59-3. Midway on the backstretch, Fire Up leads. Massa now moving fast to challenge on the outside, and Massa now takes the lead. Fire Up drops back second. Along the inside, Lieutenant Monterey wants racing room third. Glug comes out on the outside fourth. Brian's Breeze out there fifth. Parker Rivenoak shuffled to sixth. Jeff's Image seventh. Ardmore Bay eighth. Skipper Magoo ninth. Still trailing Cardamom Daniel. 3/4 was in 1:28-3. They turn for home, and Massa's drawn away by 6 open lanes. Brian Breeze now 3 wide in the second. Around the turn, they're in the stretch, and Massa leads by 6. Brian's Breeze closing on the outside second with Glug third. Lieutenant Monterey fourth. Massa leads, but on the outside, Brian's Breeze got him collared, and that's Brian's Breeze fast to take the lead. Lieutenant Monterey closing. It's Brian's Breeze with the lead at the wire. Massa holds second, Lieutenant Monterey third.